What's up, everybody? Time for some more rSpace. Am I the a-hole for refusing to leave my boyfriend's birthday party that I arranged for because his doctor friends wanted to discuss medical stuff? So for context, my, female 29, boyfriend, male 34, is a doctor. Most of his friends are from work, and they all seem to dislike me and act distant, maybe because I'm not a doctor too. I don't know, and don't care, honestly. Since we started dating, they've been asking to hang out with me, and they leave any event I'm at. My boyfriend said they're just taking their time to get used to me. Anyways, his birthday was days ago. I'd arranged for the party and paid for everything. It wasn't a surprise since the party was held at the restaurant, and he needed heads up so he could invite his doctor friends. We got there, then his friends started arriving. They came to greet him and started shaking his hand and hugging him while completely ignoring me, though I was there next to him. The tension started when one of them started making remarks about the way I dressed. I sucked it up, but another friend started interrogating me about my degree, and then implying I was ignorant for my food choice? What the F? An hour later, another one asked if I could leave because they wanted to discuss work stuff and it's confidential. I was so shocked, I laughed, asking why he thought it was appropriate to discuss work during a party, and he replied that I had an attitude. An argument ensued, and they demanded that I leave, but I said absolutely not. My boyfriend finally spoke up after it escalated and asked that I keep the peace and go home, but I refused and reminded him and let his friends know that I'd arranged for this party and paid for it, and so they should leave since they're just guests. He pulled me aside and begged to go home after they said if I don't leave, then they will, but I still refused. They left, all of them, and the party was cut short. My boyfriend was upset and started complaining at home that I ruined his birthday the minute I started arguing with his friends. I told him they were being disrespectful to me, but he said I was wrong too because they said they wanted to discuss medical stuff and I should have respected that and not made it personal. He's not speaking to me now. I was so hurt I couldn't argue anymore. I felt like I ruined his birthday by making a scene like he said and acting passive-aggressive. Am I the a-hole? Edit to say that the reason I refused to leave was because I figured they used the medical stuff discussion as an excuse to get me to leave early. First judgment from Gentes. Use that red flag as a cape and fly away. Not the a-hole. Good Girls Grace's judgment says, it's more about a-hole friends and boyfriend than being a doctor. I promise you, if OP's boyfriend and his boys were carpenters or bankers, they would have the exact same problem. Except now it's top secret bank information or some crap. It's not about doctors being the superior occupation, it's about them being condescending, disrespectful, and total a-holes. Not to mention unethical. If that stuff is so private his girlfriend couldn't hear it, they're probably committing a HIPAA violation. At a public restaurant packed with people, mind you. OP, girl, run. You know you can do much, much better than someone who uses you to finance their party, then screws you over for their a-hole friends. Our next judgment comes from Woods J06. Not the a-hole. Are you dating Satan? What type of boyfriend asked you to leave the birthday dinner you paid for? Feel the joy that you ruined his stupid birthday and dump him ASAP. Next judgment from Tarnishow14. Not the a-hole. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. He chose his friends, although you arranged everything. Asking you to leave was incredibly rude, and that is without you hosting. You deserve someone who treats you better. OP responds, you know, I doubt they wanted to talk about work, but this was rather an excuse they used to get me to leave early. It's incredibly hurtful seeing they've tried excluding me before, although I've been nothing but civil and respectful with them. My boyfriend's defense or justification for their behavior is that they're just getting used to me, but I doubt it. Next judgment from Lava Vaga. Hi OP. I can't help but notice that your replies in Zoom on how their friends are a-holes and that you suspect the whole work talk thing was an excuse to get rid of you. You seem right on that. But I'm getting the impression that the comments you are replying to are in fact pointing out that you have a significant other problem and not your friends of your significant other problem. The issue is that your significant other massively disrespects you in front of those crappy friends, but you seem to point your anger at the friends. On to the next judgment. Am I the a-hole for not telling my girlfriend sooner that she couldn't move in with me? My girlfriend has been rubbing my roommates wrong. She's been on this zero waste kick, and it's been an issue. She doesn't live with us and is becoming preachy. She's still in student housing until June, when she graduates with a degree in political science. She casually talked about moving in with me several times. I haven't said anything because June is 6 months away, and I thought of getting our place. I live in a big 5-bedroom house. It belongs to one of my roommates, Mindy's grandparents. It has a heated pool, a library, and an indoor conservatory. I lucked out because I met my friend from college. Recently, my girlfriend has been making herself at home like it's her place. She told Mindy, who likes to take baths in the evening, that it's terrible for the environment. She can hear Mindy, who has the rooms above mine, take a bath. This latest fight yesterday came around on dish soap. My girlfriend bought a glass jar and said we should all use this type of soap only. Using soap in a plastic bottle is bad. She also got mad because no one was using the compost bin she brought us for Christmas. She told people in the kitchen, "Things are going to change when I move in." And Mindy was like, "What?" My girlfriend said when she moves in June, she will make sure we are a zero-waste home. Mindy laughed and said, "You are never moving in? Ever." My girlfriend starts, "Well, my boyfriend lives here, so I will be here." Mindy points out her grandparents left her in charge of the home, and she will decide who lives here and not. She tells my girlfriend that she overstays her welcome 99% of the time, and she only puts up with it because I'm a good tenant. She will not put up with her living there. My girlfriend yelled at me and said, "I thought you settled this. I want to live here." I told her I thought we could get a studio and move in together, just us. At the word studio, my girlfriend got even angrier and said she wanted someplace with a pool and a nice kitchen. She starts on a rant about how everyone is always destroying her dreams. It ends with her crying and going back to her dorm room. Mindy calls my girlfriend a gold digger, and I need to wise up. Mindy says I should not have let her think she could have moved there. It wasn't going to happen. The first judgment comes from Accessible Beige. Your girlfriend is pressed over dish soap but insists on a home with a pool? As in one of those man-made holes in the ground that uses tons of excess water for no other purpose than leisure and requires a bunch of chemicals to keep natural things like algae from growing? Oh, I get it. Girlfriend only wants to be an environmentalist for the joy of being smug and telling other people what to do. That makes more sense. You're the a-hole for letting the conflict get to this point. Mindy should not be responsible for handling this conflict with your girlfriend. You should. Mindy's grandparents own the house and have appointed her a property manager of sorts, so she doesn't have to let anyone live there that she doesn't like. Clearly, she doesn't like your girlfriend. Girlfriend is going to have to accept this, and if she puts up a fight, then you are the one who needs to deal with it, not Mindy or anyone else who lives there. Chiquita Banana Kush chimes in, "You're the a-hole for not making things clear with your girlfriend, and how you're letting her treat Mindy and her house. You can't have the cake and eat the cake at this rate." Gloomy Ruminant chimes in, "Everybody sucks here, except Mindy. Your girlfriend absolutely sucks. She's making other people uncomfortable in their home. I would like to be zero waste too. Well, less waste at least. But when you live with other people, you have to persuade, not enforce. You also suck too, though. You could see your girlfriend was making your roommates uncomfortable, and you just let it happen. You didn't communicate to your girlfriend your expectations for post-graduation, even though she was making her expectations clear to you. It would seem you were hoping to avoid difficult conversations, but part of being an adult is learning to suck it up and have them." Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my parents that I will never speak to them again after they lied to me about their ability to pay for my college? In case anyone is wondering, HYPSM equals Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, MIT. FANG equals Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. All throughout my high school, my parents prodded me, 23 male, to study hard, earn good grades, and involve myself in extracurriculars. They constantly said things along the lines of, "Look at the person A's sister, she's attending Harvard Law," and "Follow person B's example, he's doing an MBA at Stanford." I did as I was told and was accepted into one of HYPSM. I vividly remember crying out of sheer happiness when I logged into the portal and saw my acceptance letter. I thought that my parents would be just as excited as I was, but imagine my shock when they said, "We think you should attend state school instead because it's a lot cheaper and just as good for your major, computer science, as HYPSM. We earn X per month, the mortgage is Y per month, so we have to support the family on Z per month. Where's the money for you to attend HYPSM?" They then logged into their bank account and invited me to do the budget calculations myself. I did them, saw that their numbers added up, and declined my HYPSM offer, as much as it pained me. I ended up going to state school for my BS and MS in computer science. I currently work at FANG, which means that I will be able to pay off my student loans relatively quickly. My parents said that they'd pay the difference after I took out the max in federal loans per school year. My sister, 17 female, called in December to tell me that she was accepted early into one of HYPSM. I congratulated her on getting in, and asked her if our parents would force her to decline her offer as well due to the cost. She told me that Dad told her not to worry about the cost. I then put 2 and 2 together, made an excuse to leave, and hung up the phone. I couldn't believe that I hadn't put 2 and 2 together before that moment. My dad has worked at a different FANG since 2006. These companies give their employees a lot of stock per year, which meant that when I was getting my college acceptance letters, spring of 2016, my dad's shares were worth hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions, of dollars. My dad is able to pay off my sister's tuition by selling off some of his shares. The next time my parents FaceTimed me, I asked them why they were unwilling to sell some of my dad's shares when I was accepted at HYPSM. They visibly tensed up and muttered something about how their financial decisions were none of my business. I then told them that this was the last time I'd ever speak to them because they were liars who pulled a giant bait and switch on me. That all happened shortly before Christmas. The girlfriend asked me why I've been declining all of their calls lately. After I explained to her why, she told me that she can see why I'm angry. But she also told me that I really shouldn't be complaining as I'm in a better financial position than at least 95% of people our age. First judgment from Yukon Dawn. Situation sucks. You are better off than most for this, your girlfriend is correct. But what I'm hearing is that it isn't about the college choice or financial choice, but rather the clear favoritism towards your sister. Your choice on whether to move on or forgive. But in my years of being the not favorite sibling, it took me a long time to realize I don't forgive them for them. I do it for me. Bitterness sucks. I am low contact and I'd suggest the same for you. That being said, yeah, you're not the a-hole, but for your own mental and spiritual health, don't let it eat you. Forgive and move on. That doesn't mean you need to keep them as centerpieces in your life. Next judgment from Login or Register 9. Not the a-hole. Being in a better financial position than others your age is a separate issue. Lying is lying, no matter how your situation compares to others. Pushing you then pulling out the rug is awful. The main problem is they lied. That's a huge breach of trust. And now they're telling sister not to worry? I'm sorry, that has to hurt. And then they don't even offer to pay off the loans for the lower costing school that they pushed you to? Come on. You're totally justified in not talking to them ever if you want, or waiting a certain period, or telling them to write you a letter that maybe you will read, or send you a video message so you have documentation. You're in control here. Do what makes you feel good. Or you could tell them to give you the same sum they give her for school. All of those stocks are way up now. They should be able to afford it. Or they can take out a loan. Serve them right. Whatever you do, not the a-hole. You were lied to for years.